Hey, good day, folks. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. I hope you guys are buckled in and you got your favorite beverage, your favorite snacks. We are getting ready to take a little trip through the city of Tuscumbia, Alabama. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tuscumbia, Alabama is located in Calvert County in the northwest corner of Alabama. Well, in that general area, I mean to say. It is located around Florence and Muscle Shoals. It's 15 minutes from Florence and it's just 7 minutes down the street from Muscle Shoals. And if you're needing to go into a metro area, the closest metro area to here will be Huntsville, which will be an hour and 15 minutes from here. So anyhow, the population of Tuscumbia is 8,977 people, and it has experienced a population growth of 1.7% as of the 2020 census. So I think it's safe to say that, people aren't exactly kicking the door down to live here, but either is it losing people. So you can look at it on the good side, I guess. Now, housing prices here, fortunately, are relatively affordable. So if you're looking to live in Alabama, if you're looking to live somewhere in northern Alabama and you're looking for a city that offers an affordable housing market, I would say this city is going to be about, aside from Sheffield, Alabama, which I did that video yesterday, so feel free to go check it out. But aside from Sheffield, this city does offer relatively affordable housing. And you're still not far from Florence. You're still down the street from Muscle Shoals, and you're still about the same distance to larger cities as you would be if you were to live in Sheffield or Muscle Shoals or even Florence. Now houses here are a tad bit more than what they are in Sheffield. But then again, as you guys will learn throughout the video, when it comes to certain things about this city, this city is in a little better shape than Sheffield. The downtown is in better shape. And I would say this city as a whole is in a little better condition compared to Sheffield, Alabama. So to me, it's one of those type of situations where you get what you pay for. Now on this video, you guys will see a little bit of storm damage from the tornado that hit this area on the, I want to say 24th of March, somewhere off in that time frame. So you'll see a little bit of storm damage from that tornado that hit this area a little over a week or so ago. But actually, it was more like a week and a half, give or take, roughly speaking. But anyways, if you're looking to live here, the median home price here is going to be at $161,000. Now, there are a fair amount of houses that are currently for sale for under that price range. Now, some of those houses are going to be in neighborhoods that for many of you may be less than ideal. So I would say if you're looking for anything that's decent, and my definition of decent means decent neighborhood, house moving ready, and a decent sized lot. So if we're looking for something like that, plan to pay at least $100,000 for a house. Now, I will tell you guys right now, a lot of your homes that are cheaper than the median home prices here are being snatched up at a fairly rapid rate. So, FYI. But as I would always encourage you folks to do, still do all your due diligence, hire home inspectors, and investigate the community before you buy a house and move there. Because although you got a lot of people buying up houses like it's no one's business, I mean, one thing which you got to remember is at the end of the day, the decision to purchase a home is a long-term decision. And ideally, whenever you buy a home, you want to buy for the long term. You want to stay there for many years, decades, and you guys get the idea. I mean, buying a home is not like going out here and buying a car where, okay, you're going to buy this house, you're going to keep it for a year or two or a few, and then you're going to get rid of it and you're going to go get something else. Now, there are people that have done that, and I've done that the last couple of years, and to be honest with you folks, there's a 50% chance I might be moving again. But I would encourage you guys that are out here shopping around for a house. The housing market is crazy, and there's a shortage of affordable houses in decent communities. I get it, I got it. I'm in the housing market myself, I know. However, for a lot of you first-time home buyers especially, whenever you go and you buy you a house, don't just think of what could be or won't be today or tomorrow. You also need to take into consideration your future, like what kind of lifestyle do you desire for yourself or your family? What type of amenities are important to you? And you also want to take a moment and also examine the people in the community, because one thing which I've learned is you can have the amenities, you can have the climate, you can be by beaches and oceans and all type of entertainment, but if the people in the community in which you reside in are crappy, at least in my opinion, none of that other stuff is going to really make a difference, because at the end of the day, your life is going to be less than ideal, because every day you got to deal with people that are crappy. So whenever you buy a house, examine the neighborhood, mind the people that you're going to potentially be living among. And of course, always do your home inspections and always make sure that the price you're paying for the house is not going to be a ripoff. And hopefully you guys hire a realtor that truly wants to work with you. They don't want to just throw you in the house and they get their commission and off they go. They genuinely want to help you look for the right home in the right community for you and your family. Because sadly, you got a lot of realtors out here that don't give a shit. I mean, as long as they get their commission, that's all they really care about. They don't really care about you or your family. They don't care about your investments. They don't care about any of it. But you do got a few realtors out here that do care about that type of stuff, and they will take the time and make sure that you get into a good home and in a good community. But like I said, you as the buyer have to do your own due diligence, because when you buy a house, it's not just something that you do just for today or tomorrow. It's something that you're going to, ideally, when you buy a house, it's an investment. It's going to most likely be the biggest investment you make in your life, next to maybe your education or the education of your children. Because you got to think every day you're going to come home to this house, all your stuff is going to be in this house, your life is going to be in this house, your children are going to grow up and they're going to go to the school in the local area. So, like for an example, if you're an interracial couple, or if you're of a certain minority group, you don't want to live in an area where people in that area are known to not welcome you because of who you are. I mean, that would be a real crappy situation. You wanna make sure you move you and your family into a community where you can be yourself. People are gonna accept you for who you are, and you will actually be welcomed into the community, not looked at sideways and just tolerated. So this little advice from someone who is also a minority, and someone who has also went through living in areas where people looked at me sideways and didn't truly welcome me into the community. I mean, it's a terrible feeling, and it's a lot of money to have, and a lot of time and energy to have to sell your house and move elsewhere because of that. So do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, do the due diligence to the house and to the local community and to the city that you're going to be residing in. Anyways, onwards. So housing here, fortunately, is relatively affordable, and many of these houses will come with decent sized lots, as you guys can see. Now, when it comes to, if you're just looking to rent prices aren't too bad. I mean, median rent prices are going to range from $590 to $1,270 a month. The crime numbers here aren't too bad either. I mean, violent crime is about national average, and property crime is only 35% above national average. So crime here is not too bad. Let's see, let me pull up some racial demographics here. Give me a second. Alrighty, your racial demographics are 69.5% white, 21.7% black. And for this part of Alabama, if you find a city that has at least 13% black population, that's going to be about the average of what you can expect in this region of Alabama. So yeah, 21.7% black and 4.7% Hispanic. Those are the major racial groups that you'll find in this city. Now, Tuscumbia is the hometown of Helen Keller, who lived from the 27th of June of 1888 to the 1st of June of 1968. Who was an American author and a disability rights activist, for those of you that may not know some of the works of Helen Keller. This city was first incorporated in 1820 as Alcopusa. That used to be the name of the city back in 1820. I probably butchered the hell out of the name, but oh well. Now, Alcopusa was a Chickasaw word for the meaning dry watermelon.
Is that your hand? Yes. As a dish? Yes.
Give me 1 second, people. Okay, anyways. This is one of the oldest towns in Alabama, apparently. The name of the town changed to Big Springs in 1821. Then to Tuscumbia, the current name of the city, as of December 22nd of 1822. Now, Tuscumbia was a major agricultural town in North Alabama. My apology. So apparently this city had a lot of agricultural stuff going on, which doesn't surprise me one bit due to its location. Tuscumbia became a major railroad hub in 1850 for train traffic throughout the South after the installation of the railroad through the town that was completed in 1832. From 1826 to 1860 to the 1860s, the Tuscumbia Female Academy was in operation. This was one of the many private schools funded by planters and other wealthy families to educate their children. No public schools were available at this time. This school was later closed down due to the Civil War. Now, I'm pretty sure the majority of you at least know what planters are. I mean, you know, back during slavery here in the United States, I mean, many of your slave owners were also known as planters. So that's, in a nutshell, that's basically what a planter is. Now, not all planters were slave owners, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what a planter was. I mean, a planter was what it was. I mean, it was a person or people who attended to different type of crops. Like here in the deep South, one of the biggest crops was cotton. So anyways, in April of 1894, 3 African Americans that were accused of planning to commit arson were taken from the city jail by a mob of 200 men and lynched and then hung from the bridge over the Tennessee River. So that's just a little bit of history about this city. Now, granted, at some point, you know, you're going to get a little bored. You're going to be looking for stuff to do. You know, at some point, hopefully you guys have a life outside of work. Hopefully you guys are not going to move here just to work yourself into an early grave. I mean, for your sake and for your family's sake, I would hope you wouldn't do nothing like that. So, assuming that you would not do anything like that, I mean, you know, you're going to have your days off of work and you're going to be looking for things to do for you and your family. So, if you don't feel like taking a drive into a larger city like Huntsville, or if you're just looking for something to do right here in the city of Tuscumbia, a few things that you can do is you can take yourself and your children, if you have any, to the Spring Creek Park. Now, I went to the Spring Creek Park a couple of times, and they do have a small walking trail. It's nothing special. It's just a small little trail. You walk it, I think, 2 times, it equals a mile. They also have a nice little playground for your children there. Now, I couldn't show you guys the park because due to YouTube guidelines, I'm not allowed to do that. But just know that the park is there and available to the public for free. So you can take yourself, take your family, get some exercise, get some fresh air. And also, you have the golf course there. Now, the golf course is in close vicinities of the park. So they have the golf course there, which is also called the Spring Creek golf course. You also have the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. You also got the Bill Mott Mansion. Then you got the Tuscumbia Railroad Depot Museum. You got the Helen Keller birthplace. So you can go there and visit visit where she came from. You got the Rattlesnake Saloon, which is basically a restaurant that was built under a huge rock. Now, a lot of people say the food there is fairly decent, and they also have other sources of entertainment there, so I guess you can go there and find out what that might be for yourself. And at some point, I might go there myself just to try some of their food. I don't know. It depends on what my schedule entails. Now, off the cuff, I would say the only downer of living in this city is the fact that it's over an hour from a larger metro area. Now, I know there's some of you out here that you don't really care about that. But for those of you that work a storefront 9 to 5, and you may not have the highest level of education, you do blue collar work, I put that out there because, sometimes whenever the economy takes a crap, smaller regions like, communities like this one that are surrounded with cities that are not that big, sometimes when the economy takes a crap, a lot of blue collar or entry level job opportunities are going to temporarily not be available. And then you might have to go into a larger city to make a living. So that's why I would say the only downer of living here in Tuscumbia is the fact that you're going to be over an hour from a larger city. Now, for those of you that work online or you have certain type of skills, and obviously you don't care two craps about living close to the metro, I would say this city would be a very good place to live. It would be a very solid place to consider home. Housing prices here are relatively affordable. People here seem like they're okay. And again, I don't live here. I just came through for a little bit of time and did a video and hung out for a little bit. So obviously, if you're wanting to live here, you'll have to do your due diligence for yourself. But just off of the time that I was here, I think this would be a solid place to call home. This city does have decent amenities, and whatever you can't find here, you got Muscle Shoals down the street, and plus you got Florence down the street from Muscle Shoals. So you're in very close proximity to a couple of larger cities. Well, larger than this one, I mean. And this city in itself, you do got some areas that are a little rough. And when I say rough, I'm talking rough looking. And I'm assuming the crime that happens in this city are going to most likely be in those areas, which you guys will see in a little bit here. But I would say, due to the low crime rate, due to the housing affordability, and due to the fact that it's close to other cities that are fairly decent places. This place is a decent place too, but other places that have a little bit more going for themselves, like Muscle Shoals, which is only down the street, and then Florence. So I would say, just due to the geographics of this city, And due to the crime statistics of this city would be a solid place to call home. And also due to the fact that that the housing prices here are relatively affordable. And this city in itself, in my opinion, would not be I mean, I don't think this is a bad city. I just don't. So that's my 2 cents about this city. So you guys have a wonderful day, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. And to help with my channel, all you gotta do is give these videos thumbs up. And I thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Andrew's Life. So until the next time, you guys have a blessed one. And I'll see you on the next one. you